Welcome into the latest edition of Great City Attractions. Today we strike into top 10 territory. Brace yourself for the top 10 mega fortresses. Belogradchik Fortress. Situated in modern-day Bulgaria, Belogradchik Fortress is certainly a striking fortification. Enormous rock formations do most of the work here, making for a natural citadel towards the top of the outcrop. Roman mines meant early construction took place on the site as far back as the 1st century AD. While Ottoman forces captured the fort in the 1400s but had to contend with local unrest. The fortress also saw action in the Serb-Bulgarian War of 1885. Mehrangarh, an Indian mega-fortress if there ever was one. This enormous fortification was erected in the 1400s and commands the surrounding plain. The fort itself has 7 points of entry, including the famous Victory Gate, while a number of palatial residences are dotted within its thick walls. These days, the fort is home to a number of museums and galleries. Interestingly, the fort was used during the filming of the smash box office hit, The Dark Knight Rises. In at number 8, the Castle of the Knights. They certainly left their mark when they built this mega fortress. The castle is best known as the station of the Order of the Knights Hospitaller, who controlled the castle until it fell in the early 1270s, after taking control in the 1140s. At its zenith, the castle was said to have housed up to 2,000 troops. The Syrian civil war has exacted further strain against the structure, with extensive shell damage being reported during the conflict. Spiš Castle. A Slovakian superfortress. A World UNESCO site, the castle ranges over some 40,000 square metres, making it one of the biggest castles in Europe. Kings of Hungary ruled over the castle, while numerous reconstructions have taken place over the centuries. A large fire in 1780 all but razed the giant walls. Fort Bourtange. This symmetrical puzzle of significance was built by the end of the 16th century and was effective in controlling vital roadways around Groningen. The fort did its job soon after its construction when, during the 80 Years' War, it helped repel Spanish forces. Another attack on the fort also failed during the Franco-Dutch War. The amazing site is now a historical museum. If you're enjoying this video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel below. La Alhambra, a majestic fort built to support the continued presence of Muslim interests on the Iberian Peninsula. Numerous palaces were constructed when the fort was under Muslim control, with the Nasrid dynasty having a great influence on the fort's interior architecture. Forces under Napoleon Bonaparte occupied the fort during the Peninsular War, causing major damage in doing so. Jaffna Fortress. In at number 4, the Fort of Jaffna has a fascinating history. Portuguese interests in the area led to the invasion of Jaffna and the subsequent building of the defences in 1618. The fort then changed hands a number of times during the next 2 centuries, with the Dutch and the British both laying claim to the battlements. The Sri Lankan Civil War of the 1990s saw the fort come under siege once again, with the Sri Lankan army able to defeat Tamil Tiger forces inside the fort itself. A fort for Florida. St. Mark's Castle in English. This magnificent castle took shape under the Spanish conquistadors of the 17th century. While taking the fort by storm has proven hard, with the British failing to do so on a number of occasions, the fort has changed hands through diplomatic negotiations and necessity. Native American leaders were held in the fort during their internal struggles with the US government. Among the most famous kept here would be the Apache war chief, Geronimo. Number 2. Masada. The famous Herod the Great saw the positional strength of Masada when fortifying the spur in the 30s BC. The most historically significant event involving Masada is the Jewish-Roman War, in which Jewish forces attempted to outlast a Roman force under the command of Lucius Silva. After a number of months, the Romans used siege weapons to enter into the fortress proper, only to find the occupants had died by their own hands. Number 1. The Atlantic Wall. The greatest fort or a mere folly? The rise of the Third Reich, the fall of France, and a relentless advance of the German war machine meant the Allied forces had to liberate Europe in order to restore world peace. Hitler had other ideas with the construction of a vast Atlantic Wall. Networks of pillboxes, sighted artillery, beach obstacles and trench systems were built, stretching over many thousands of kilometres. Alas, for Nazi hopes, the Atlantic Wall was broken on June 6, 1944, when the Allies stormed the beaches and established a beachhead. Defence in depth wasn't one of the strengths of the Atlantic Wall. Some 11 months later, Hitler would be dead. Soon enough, World War II would be over. That concludes this edition of Great City Attractions Top 10. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. What's the greatest fortress you've ever visited? Comment below.